Yeah. You're sacked. Right, so what we're going to do, we're using block liner ink, so it's not paint. And what we have to do is we have to just warm up the chemistry a little bit. This is a block roller. So we don't need to like move it around the whole printing tile for this. We're just warming the chemistry up a little bit. We want quite a lot of ink when we do this, unlike other printing processes. And what I'm going to do is I've already scored in my design into my polyprint tile. Now this is where I find out if my lines are good and clean, because when I put my ink on here, what I hopefully still will see is the outline of my design still. Now if it does fill in at all, so your ink does go into the little grooves, you can just use a pencil or a pen and just clean it out a little bit. And what I want is I want a really good thick layer of ink on here, because I will lose some in the transfer process.
Sir, can I just, have you used masking tape as well to
only because I left it in my bag overnight and it got damaged. So I've used a little bit of masking tape where something in my bag had made a groove that I didn't want. So I tried to think of a way, and it's trashed it a little bit there, but this is the thing. Don't aim for perfectionism, you know, you'll get yourself all stressed out about it and there's no point. Turn that over, put it on its back, it's got that little thing on there. Right, and as I say, we've not used this before, so I'm just going to work out what I need. I'm going to do it on some really poppy paper. You could do it on any paper. Thin paper is quite nice, because if you think you're pressing something into it, it's quite nice on thin paper because it makes an impression. Then I use my fingertips.
I can provide that.
Yeah, we've got loads of different colours. I'm going to put that somewhere squish in the middle, like that. I don't know if this was to be thrown out or not. It came in the box. I think it's like a bit of a blanket, so it will protect the back of the tile like that. Normally, if you don't have one of these, you can do it with your hand, or what I find is really good if you've got like a dessert spoon at home, a nice metal spoon or a wooden spoon, and you rub on the back, and it's what they call burnishing, yeah? And you can buy specialist equipment and all that sort of stuff, but to be fair, your hand or anything like that is as good as. And then this, hopefully, as I say, I've never used it before, will give us a nice, even pressure. I don't know if you're supposed to do it multiple times or how good this is going to be. And what you will find with printing, it's not like science. I am not guaranteed, just because I've done this, a perfect result. It might be that I've got too much ink, too little ink, too much pressure, too little pressure. And this is what you do as a printmaker. You make series of them so that hopefully you get a few decent ones out the end of it. That should probably have stayed down there. But anyway, take the blanket off. And then these are very fragile, remember, so be careful when you're doing your reveal, as we call it.
Best bit.
Look
at that.
There we go.
Beautiful.
So we get our little Keith Haring print, and that's got a pretty nice, rich, glossy black. There are some issues with it. As I say, I've got that crease down there, which is damage that I accidentally made on the tile in the bag, but I'm not going to stress about it. But what you can do with a print, and this is the joy over doing a painting or a drawing, is I can make multiple copies of this, and that's the whole thing about printing. You know, printing magazines, newspapers, posters, t-shirts, is that it's mass production. So I can re-ink this now. I could wash it, dry it really carefully. I could change the colour of the ink. I could do it again on different coloured paper, different materials, so I can really go to town now. I could even fix and remedy. So I could wash this and dry it, and then try and put a little bit of tape over that to get rid of that error as such.
You could even gouge more out, couldn't you? And then ink that in a different colour and put that on. Would that work?
Yeah, there's you'll probably heard of Pablo Picasso, yeah, really famous 20th century artist. He did printing. He was quite a master printmaker on lino, which is a sort of rubbery material that people used to put down on their kitchen floors, really. And there's an art version of it. And he did a technique called reductive. So, like Sir's saying, you could do this in one colour. Then I could actually, with a craft knife, take a chunk away. Maybe just leave the little man, re-ink the little man, and print the little man with maybe a different colour. What you'd probably have to do if you wanted to do a multicolour one, though, is you'd probably have to print light and then darker colours and darker colours, yeah, because you're going to struggle getting another colour on top of black. But with Keith Haring, that real nice graphical, really simple, straight first colours. And what I did, I don't know if you're doing this with Sir, what I've said to my eights is they're coming up with their own designs.
Yeah, they are. They're doing that today.
Yeah, so that was a little Keith Haring figure jumping over a COVID little germ, trying to keep out the way a bit. Okay, so as simple as that, so that works pretty good, doesn't it?
Thank you, Sir. Can we thank Sir for coming through and showing us?
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Oh, thank you very much. That's my first round of applause.